Could recognizing more fully our relationships in the world, the context in which we operate essentially, could that help us make real and positive changes? And might it be that if we don't recognize those relationships and contexts, that we're going to be waiting for a skillful change for a very long time? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today on Poetry, Passion, and Pleasure podcast with your host, Dale Byron. That's me. Let's get right into the poem. It's called A Radical Experiment in Words. A Radical Experiment in Words. To say as a species, we know what to do, but simply do not have the will to do it, is to visit a great confusion upon ourselves. It is to remove the living, dangling roots from our deepest soils, pretending that relationship and context hardly matter at all. So for the next intervals unfolding, let's pretend we have no answers. Forget, but do not deny our predicament, the ecological meta-crisis. Forget the climate catastrophe bearing down on us like a freight train. Let go of the anxious melting ice caps, oceans filling with microplastic, the forever chemicals coursing through our veins, rivers, and streams, the rainforests retreating, ecosystems collapsing, and of course, forget the billions of missing mammals, their fate now fallen into a great despair. Please, especially don't opine, judge, or list the ways humans keep failing. Simply hold in peace. Simply hold in peace the interior battle raging inside our activist hearts. There is no outside world to save. There is no outside world to save, and no heroes that need be our saviors. Focus upon a tree, a limb or leaf, or kind hands, or the smallest patch of earth as our sibling. Do this, then tell of your astonished connection. Your attention will make you whole. Your attention will make you whole. A whispering wildness on your lips, the humility of having no cause or flag or country. This will change you. This will change you, and at levels deeper than success, deeper than hope, as if in any moment you might step from your body with heart flaming, soul quivering, ready to fly. Your attention will make you whole. Your attention will make you whole. A whispering wildness on your lips, the humility of having no cause, no flag, no country. This will change you. This will change you, and at levels deeper than success, deeper than hope, as if in any moment you might step from your body with heart flaming, soul quivering, ready to fly, ready to fly. Well, what I was considering with this episode and this poem, A Radical Experiment in Words, which I wrote while thinking about these matters a little earlier this year, is that when we're out of relationship, unaware in a full sense of relationship, of the context within which we inhabit, within which we are. If we do not recognize that relationship and that context, we are lost. And we are confused about what to do. And even the things that we do, even if they are skillful, if we're out of relationship, out of awareness, out of context, they will not work very well. They will not work very well. Have you noticed? This is paradoxical. When I speak in the poem, what came through is when it says, so for the next intervals unfolding, let's pretend we have no answers. Forget, but do not deny our predicament. The ecological metacrisis, forget the climate catastrophe bearing down on us like a freight train. And then I go on to say, forget all these other things that are part of the metacrisis. I mean that paradoxically, of course, because if we look through the same lens of being disconnected, better than, separate from, able to dominate the natural world, if we have that lens, that perspective of being disconnected, whatever we do will not work. And sometimes, with great empathy, I hear us saying that we know what to do, but we simply do not have the will as a species, as human beings, to do it. And my sense is that we confuse ourselves when we say that. Because if we are able to more fully recognize these relationships that we exist in, this context within which we exist in, the fact that we are the natural world, that we're not separate from it or better than it, or able to, from afar, manipulate and control it. If we recognize that, everything we do will immediately become more skillful. Of course, we've got to do the right things. Of course, we have to do that. But we have to recognize this paradox at the base of all of it, that if we have the right relationship, if we are imagining ourselves as part of the natural world, then we will be thriving, and we will automatically begin to take the right steps, the right dance steps. We will. So I say, could recognizing relationship and context change everything? Yes, I believe it really can. I also wrote that perhaps we have thingified the world, a new invented world. To thingify the world is to separate everything out of relationship and out of context. So we've thingified the world too far in a one direction, so that we now must reanimate the world, embrace relationship at every turn. And I said, perhaps no matter what we say or pretend, we do not know what to do, as evidenced by our confusion and inaction. As long as we're convinced we are separate from the earth and all our fellow earthlings, our solutions may only make things worse. What we know how to do is born of hubris, in this case of disconnection, and will fail, Have you noticed? Rather, the world, to be recognizing that the world is a living, sentient being, emerging and emerging and emerging. And only in relationship will we heal our souls back into the back into the earth's web of belonging and reality. So, as we said in the last few lines of the poem, a radical experiment in words. Your attention, this kind of attention to relationship, to context, will make you whole. Your attention will make you whole. A whispering wildness on your lips. The humility of having no cause or flag or country. This will change you. This will change you, and at levels deeper than success, deeper than hope, as if in any moment you might step from your body with heart flaming, soul quivering, ready to fly. Thank you so much for your listening ear. Thank you for being here with me on this journey. And until next time and next poems, please take good care of yourself. And as I always like to say, please take care of someone else if you can. Thanks.